The Calamity mod has many bosses, which means there are also many progression skips, ranging from wow, this is easier than the intended path, to why the f would you ever do this? Today I'll be going through 3 different skips, one for each portion of the game, that are actually practical and worth going for. So let's go. If you're having trouble with the Brain of Cthulhu, especially after the recent Brainstorm oh wait, that was 3 months ago, then literally just do the Perforators first, because they still haven't been buffed one bit, despite how incredibly easy they are in comparison. I haven't played Calamity in almost 2 months, so just to prove that, my rusty ass is gonna beat them with pre-boss gear I found in my granddad's washing machine. Alright, maybe this boss is slightly challenging. Or I was just a bit rusted up. If you've got a Sandstorm, a bottle, and a half-decent weapon, you can beat this boss. And the fact that the spawner for it literally spawns out in the open makes it even funnier. I definitely wouldn't recommend going for this pre-boss though, since the Desert Scourge and Eye of Cthulhu are much easier fights, and will get you up on your feet quicker in terms of gear. Now for the reward you'll get from this, as far as I know, there's no shimmer trickery to get tissue samples before the game intends you to, but you will get some very useful weapons, particularly the Bloodbath and Vein Burster being very effective against the brain, and the Bloody Wormtooth for melee players. Next up is one that's actually become more accessible since Brainstorm, Pre-Mech Calclone. The thing is with this skip, you used to need a Mithril Anvil to craft a summon, making Calclone a post-1 mech boss. But now you can make it with just any old anvil, which is very nice. Thanks Calamity devs. I'd still recommend taking out Cryogen first at least, since Cryo isn't too difficult. Now, I haven't actually tried Calclone's new fight, so for the majority of the battle I was entranced by the new pretty visuals and sound design. I ended up dying once to the Soulseeker phase since I hadn't fully grasped the pattern yet, but the next attempt I got it down just fine. And if I can do it on a whim like this, then you definitely can. This skip gives you the most dramatic power spike in my opinion, with the Animosity and Crush or Crusher's Stealth Strike blitzing single target bosses like the Twins, Prime, and even Plantera. And Havoc's Breath straight up being a free destroyer kill. Need I say more? I honestly wasn't expecting this to still be so easy to pull off, but boy oh boy am I glad it is, since this was my go-to method back in the day. They have neutered Skeletron Prime's homing Skull BS, in turn taking him from the hardest to the easiest mech, but even so, I'd still say he's on par with Calclone's difficulty. So unless you're a progression purist, do Calclone first. Finally, and probably the most iconic if you've watched my old challenge videos, Pre-Providence Poltergeist. When Providence is just giving you too much trouble, head down into the dungeon with a half-decent weapon and fight Polter instead, no arena required. However, this is probably a master mode thing, but I found Polter to actually be a lot more difficult this time around, having a good deal more health and wiping me off the map in only 2 clean hits. I persevered though, and took him down without too much trouble. But then, out of curiosity, tried Providence with this exact same loadout. Which I subsequently ended up first trying. Very nice visuals by the way. Not that Providence really needed an update, but her attacks look even better now nonetheless. So yeah, unless you're really having a problem with Providence, this skip just really isn't worth it anymore. Unless you want to completely dog Providence with post-Polter Abyss gear, or maybe against a Sentinel. To be honest, I forgot those bosses even existed. Anyways, those are 3 actually useful progression skips that will help at least someone out. Higher tier doesn't always mean higher difficulty. Not in a game like Terraria, at least. Thank you very much for watching, and double thanks to these people here who directly support my channel. Now go do some push-ups or something, I don't know.